know, folks say people can't change. A leopard never changes his spots. But people do change. They really do. All right. We're going to focus this. Hey everybody, I'm so happy to see you today. Thank you so much for coming back and seeing me and Desi. I hope you had a great week. I had a challenging week. It seems like for every 2 steps forward, I took 1 step back, but it's okay. That's part of life. So I'm so happy you're here today. I am going to do a video that you have been asking me to do. And it's about what do I eat every day and how am I losing this weight that I'm losing? What diet am I on and how am I getting motivated? And yeah, this is going to be fun. I want to talk to you about all those things. And you know, I decided I would just do a dedicated video on this today, and we'll kind of explore weight loss over 50, weight loss for any woman is a challenge. I want to take you back to when I first moved into this apartment, and that was 7 years ago, and I weighed 128 pounds. And that is pretty much my normal weight for my entire life. I used to be 5'4", but now I'm 5'3". I guess that's another video, but anyway, between 128 and 135 has always been my weight my whole life. Sometimes thinner and sometimes a little bit heavier, but that's your average. So when I came here, I was 128, but I wasn't in good shape. I was just coming off my divorce. In fact, my divorce wasn't even final yet. So, yeah. I was suffering from some depression, and also I didn't have any money. So what I started to do was to stretch my dollars. I would go to the store, and I had some amazing recipes for noodle casseroles that I could make in the crock pot. They were delicious, they were filling, and they didn't cost a lot of money to make. I've got to share these recipes with you, but sauteed mushrooms and egg noodles and tuna and all these wonderful things with, you know, garlic and Parmesan cheese, and just thinking about it makes me hungry. Anyway, so I would make these huge crock pot extravaganzas for myself. As time went on, I gained about 5 pounds every year that I lived here. So you can tell by that kind of weight gain that I wasn't having hot fudge sundaes. You know, I wasn't having cookies and pies. But I was eating too much, and I was eating a lot of carbohydrates, and I was working out. I did a workout every night for 30 minutes, but it couldn't help me because I was consuming so many carbohydrates. But even though I wasn't having desserts, before I went to sleep at night, there was never a night where I didn't treat myself and my doggies to some peanut butter and crackers or Swiss cheese and crackers or something. something comforting, something that would fill my stomach so when I hit the bed, I could go to sleep. You know, so many of you asked me what, after 7 years, truly motivated me to start losing weight. And, you know, I have to say that most of the things that truly motivated me were health related. I started to have high blood pressure. My legs started to hurt when I would go upstairs. You know, an extra 25, 30 pounds is kind of tough lugging that around. And I started to have a lot of headaches, and I also had constant blood sugar crashes. So I had to change something. And I knew my weight was too high to be healthy. And also, I could wake up in the morning and I'd be so grateful for another day, and I'd be in a great mood, and I'd get on the scales and holy cow, what? I weighed more than what I weighed when I gave birth to my son Chris. How did that happen? I don't overeat. I'm working out. And you know, I actually believed that no matter what I did, I could not lose weight. I told my doctor, you could drop me on a desert island and not give me any food for 5 years and I would still look like this. I wouldn't lose any weight. I believed it. And then one day, I got mad. I looked down at that scales after I had been dieting for a couple days, and it said no weight loss, and I got mad. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired about my weight. And I thought, I have to do something. As I've gotten older, I've become very protective of myself. And I see all this starch and all this sugar, and I think of it as something that's dangerous, like smoking or like drinking. I think it's just so much easier when you get older to put the brakes on and say no. For 7 minutes, 8 minutes of pleasure, I'm not going to spend the rest of the year trying to get 20 pounds off. It's just not worth it. But you know, in the end, the diet that truly worked for me was a combination of 3 popular diets. And one was intermittent fasting, plus eating low carbohydrates, plus watching my calories and exercising. So when I combined all of those with eating very healthy and eating non-processed food, trying to eat as much raw food as possible, that sounded so weird, but you know what I mean. It started to work. And I think that was my problem. I put all my eggs in one diet basket, and that didn't work for me. And after I started losing 5 or 6 pounds, what a feeling. And suddenly, you know, the blood pressure was going down, and I stopped getting my blood sugar crashes, and I started to feel more alert and have more energy. So I was on the right track, and I was excited. And I didn't lose any weight for the first 2 weeks. I lost nothing. But I kept at it because I was mad as hell. And I was going to, I knew it could work. I knew I just had to be patient because I was doing everything right. And on that 15th day, I lost 3 pounds. And I tell you, I was running around this apartment like, well, I don't know what I was like, but I was so happy. And I was dancing, and Desi was dancing, and it felt so victorious. So I wanna now share with you what I eat and when I eat it, and what some of my goals are for the future. I call my diet the Freedom Diet because I have made sure that breakfast, lunch, and dinner, those 8 hours that I am allowed to eat, are packed full of my favorite foods. And yes, I do have a little bit more money now, so I can buy the foods that I love. I don't have to make them stretch. And I also am no longer depressed. So I'm more apt to exercise now. So in the morning, I'm going to have my coffee with my favorite creamer, and I'm going to have a Fiber One bar. And these come in all kinds of wonderful flavors, peanut butter and caramel. I like them all, even the coconut one I love. And these are about 140 calories, and they're the lowest as far as calories and sodium, as far as the fiber bars. So I really love these, and this is how I start my day. And they're chocolatey. So here I have my favorite deluxe coffee, and then I have chocolate. That's how I start my morning. And then for lunch, I make sure that I have something that I absolutely love, which is like a fresh apple cut up with, I love Swiss cheese, so I will cut up Swiss cheese and something like an avocado, and that is a big lunch. Now, I may not have any bread with this lunch or any soup or anything like that, because I don't ever eat TV dinners. I don't eat anything out of a can, so everything has to be just so, pretty raw. So I have my, my raw carrots, my avocado, cheese, apple. So I have a beautiful lunch, and keeping on that theme for dinner, I again have all my favorite foods. I love salads, so I make myself a super salad with, a boiled egg and all kinds of cucumbers and tomatoes and avocado, seafood in my salad. Or, another night I will have grilled chicken, or perhaps I'll have a pork chop and a small salad. But I'm very conscious at dinner time. I want to be able to have a beautiful dinner and say to myself after I've eaten my dinner, that was delicious and I really enjoyed it, and I don't feel that I've denied myself. But still, in the back of my mind, I know I'm not having potato salad, I'm not having corn on the cob, I'm not having dessert, but it's a wonderful dinner in the portions that are reasonable of foods that I love, and that is my diet. So then I eat from noon until 8 at night, and after 8 at night I don't eat anything, but I do drink. This is called Nice. It's a lemon lime water, and I have gotten some private messages saying don't drink that water because it's not good for you. And well, I really like it, and this isn't going to be a long-term thing, and it's helped me so much lose weight. So, and I do love it so much. And I also know that Coke Zero isn't good for me either, and I do drink a little bit of that, and I love it. So this diet that I'm on is all about not denying the things that I love right now. Down the road when I'm 128 pounds, I'm going to make some changes, but for right now I want to surround myself with the things that I absolutely love, and lime water and Diet Coke, I love those things, so I'm going to have them. And when I'm super hungry and I haven't eaten in 8 or 9 hours and my stomach feels a little funny, I will go and I'll have a little peppermint hard candy. I'll have a little butterscotch hard candy up, and I figure I can have at least 5 or 6 of those to break up the night if I'm feeling like I didn't get quite enough food in that 8-hour window that I had. Another thing I love to do is chew sugarless gum, and I know people will say, well, you shouldn't be chewing gum. Well, that's probably true, but to get me through, I want to lose these 30 pounds, and these things are helping me. Well, it took me a couple years, but I fit into my favorite dress again. I'm so happy.
As when we were young, oh, though I felt misunderstood, it was a pleasure running away with you.
When I was growing up in the 60s, the models that I saw in 17 magazine were so beautiful, but they were all really skinny. And you weren't popular in high school unless you were skinny. And, that was the time of Twiggy and all these beautiful models that wore the mini skirts with the tiny little legs. Well, that wasn't me, but I tried to make it me. And it caused me a lot of problems with my relationship with food and self-esteem. I think there is a little bit of vanity, if I'm honest with you. I feel sometimes when my weight was climbing, I felt like I was on a dock and the boat was leaving, and I was reaching over trying to grab the boat to bring it back. I know that is the most ridiculous analogy. Why do you put up with me? But anyway, that's how the boat represented my youth. I just felt like, oh dear, the farther I get away from my normal weight as a woman, the more foreign I feel in my clothes. And when I walk into a room, I did want to feel prideful. That's just me. That's nobody else. I don't want to put that on anybody else. That's just me. And to keep a positive attitude that you can lose weight, because I would say to myself, you know what? I'm not even going to try to lose weight, because I've been trying to lose weight for 7 years and nothing's happened. So why would this time be any different? That's like, I quit smoking after 40 years. Imagine the things I said to myself. You've been doing this for 40 years and you think, we beat ourselves up because we're told over and over again that people don't change, that things don't change, and they do. People do change, and they're brave, and they're strong, and they're disciplined. And when you want something really badly, nothing can stop you. You will find a way to get what you want. Life finds a way. I so appreciate you kind of going along with me on this weight loss journey. I am 5'3", I'm 64 years old. I now weigh 139 pounds. And my goal weight is 128. So I hope that you will stick around with me and see if I make it. I know I'm going to make it, but I want just to make sure that you supervise. You'll be my chaperone. And I promise if you do that, I will never bring up another boat analogy again. I promise. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. What I hope most of all is that maybe one or two of my tips of this particular diet might strike a chord in you, and you would say, yeah, life finds a way. I'm at the dog park where I used to come with Cooper, and he used to have such a good time here. How you doing? Hi.
As when we were young. Oh, though I felt misunderstood, it was a pleasure running away.
A good portion of my life trying to figure out why people are happy and how I can be happy, because that was a goal. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to have a happy life, and I never seemed to get there. And it seemed that, sometimes I always thought happiness involved me. It was like the job I had, or who I was in love with, or what I was wearing, or I don't know, just it seemed like happiness was something that truly involved me. And so then I was sent a picture by my daughter-in-law this week, and it's a very simple picture of my son. It's taken from the back, and so you see my son's back, and he's sitting on his little deck that needs a little work, and he just mowed his lawn, and he's sitting there having a little moment with my grandson Wyatt, his son Wyatt, and his doggie. And I looked at that picture, and I really looked at it because it was so natural, and he didn't know the picture was being taken, and he's kind of just cradling his little son. My son is cradling his son. And I had the most profound surge of happiness that I think I have ever known just seeing that picture, that simple picture, not taken by a professional photographer. Nobody was smiling. Nobody was airbrushing anything. Just my son on his little humble porch with his son. And I thought to myself, I always thought my happiness depended on where my feet were standing. I always thought my happiness depended on, well, it was something about me. And then I started to cry when I looked at the picture, and I realized this is what true happiness feels like, and I'm not involved. I'm not there. Nobody is interacting with me. This is just pure happiness and pure love. And it was an epiphany. It truly was. It was like I wondered all my life if my children would be okay. Because you know how we worry about our children, or how we worry about our friends, or how we worry about our parents. But when you actually see this beautiful moment frozen in time, and you realize, yeah, they're going to be okay. They're happy. It's a miracle. Hey everybody, thank you so much for hanging in there with us today. I loved every second of it. You know, have you ever been on a weight loss journey? If you have time, in the comments, could you share some of your very favorite tips when it came to losing weight or controlling your weight at all? It would mean so much to so many of us. So thank you for being here. Please have yourself a wonderful brand new week. And when you're done with your week, come back and see me and Desi, okay? Okay, it's a deal. It's a deal.
I got you, you got me. We are two lucky. Emily, your name spells home. Since the day you were born, you have always known when I need you the most. Oh, 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 oh. My best friend God sent my own good
Folks say people can't change. A leopard never changes his spots. But people do change.
My double flame whisper, my soulmate sister.